Hi, and thank you for this breath of fresh air in TV in this moment. Your character, Danny and Betsy, they are young, they are beautiful. I think they could be a nice couple, and they seems to have everything, but they also live in a world that limits their possibilities. What are their strengths and their weaknesses?
That's actually so true. Yeah, I mean, I think each of us, our parts are similar in a way that we're kind of there to disrupt what's happening between Cecily and Keegan's characters. But yeah, I think at the start we're a bit one-dimensional, and we kind of are trapped in our own circumstances, right? I'm a bit of the outsider. I'm just trying to get by with running my little carnival, and then of course, through meeting these new people, I think my eyes are open to the world and other possibilities that I don't have to just be that. So I think that throughout the course of it, we really learn from these very modern, progressive people that we don't have to be stuck in our own circumstance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess in terms of like strengths and weaknesses directly for the character, it's something I really haven't thought about, but I love what you said with like they are quite limited by their environment. And that's something that is true for a lot of people, not just people who live in a 1940s musical, you know. It's like a kind of a modern problem as well. But in terms of Betsy, you know, she's really sheltered. She has one idea of what love is going to look like for her. She also, I think, believes that love is going to save her, right? Which I think is like kind of like a classic thing for a lot of like young girls. I definitely had that growing up. And so that's definitely something that limits her, and that's something that's definitely a product of her environment. And I think that her strength comes as the series progresses, and Ariana's character kind of shows her a way to gain independence and maybe give her a sort of like a you have to value yourself and your own opinion about yourself more than a man. And I think that that's like, you know, very relatable for a very unrelatable world.
Her character is incredible. She's managed to understand what is happening, and for love, she managed to set her loved one free. What are they? Her strength and her weakness.
Oh, well, her strengths are that her love for her husband is absolutely unconditional, and that she's completely devoted to him, and she thinks that he's the most wonderful man in the world. You know, he's the only man that ever paid attention to her and ever made her feel special. So, her strength is like her unshakable devotion to him. And her weaknesses is that she's a little oblivious. That sometimes things go by her and they just go right over her head, and she just, it doesn't, she doesn't register them. She's not always the most perceptive person, but she's got a big heart, obviously, and she's very loving. So I think of her, as a very strong person.
Hi, Cecily. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Nice to meet you, Chiara.
And thank you for this wonderful, wonderful woman who is Melissa. I loved her for the minute one. I decided to love Melissa. She's wonderful. She's a doctor. She's independent. She's lovely. She's caring. But she always try to fix things for the others. So, what are her strengths and her weaknesses?
Well, I think you said it perfectly. She is absolutely independent and smart, and she can sort of do everything, and she is funny, but but she is a little controlling, and I like that she gets to go on this journey where she gets to change, because we don't get to see the female characters do that as often.
Yeah, and you say that perfectly. She learns to let go, as as the Mildred character should have learned. And how hard it is to let go in real life?
I think it was. I think we all just went through a lot of having to let go, and we didn't really have a choice in that. And sort of, if you rage against it, you'll be less successful than the day you have to accept it. I think it's one of those things where it's very hard, but it's much easier if there's you get something good on the other side, you know, and she gets to have Josh, she gets to have this person she loves.
In the end, what do you think? Are they out of Schmigadoon?
You know, I go back and forth. I love that it's open-ended, and because life is too, you know, and so I think it's the right answer is whatever somebody thinks while watching it.
And what was the thing that convinced you to accept the role of Melissa?
I mean, I'm not even sure what the exact thing was. I was pretty much on board as soon as I was allowed to be. Just meeting Cinco, our meeting talking about Schmigadoon was really just us talking about musicals, and he was so wonderful. And the minute I read the script, I thought I was in love. I thought it was so funny and also special and had a heart. And I love comedy with a heart.
I thank you so much for this wonderful show and this wonderful character, and see you soon. Bye.
Thank you so much. I love your necklace also.
Bye.